Hello, I'm going to go over this week, which is week 6, Friend or Foe, the Pharmaceutical Industry. And I really want you to, I'm going to post this lecture, and you really have to watch this lecture. I know sometimes people don't always watch my lectures. Oh, my beating heart. But the reality is that you need to, because this week I'm going to ask you to read through Doctors and Patients, the Pharmaceutical Industry, Friend or Foe. I'm going to have you take a look. As you see, I'm clicking on these. These are all PDFs that you can read online. And then they're all PDFs. Let's see where else we are. We got Industry or Foe. I'd like you to read that. This is an actual database that goes out and shows an overview of the patterns of abuse in the United States. Also has, I think this is fascinating, this overdose map. So where you could see where the largest overdoses are in the United States. And the map is loading right now because I'm filming, and so I'm pushing my computer, but you get the idea. You can go back and click on that. And then the other thing too, that's really interesting is you could see how doctors are prescribing and how many doctors are prescribing the data. And then read Harold Pierce's article about the lack of treatment. Okay, so look at all these maps of overdose, which is up here. It's very similar. Dollars for docs, how dollars sometimes are pushed to doctors to prescribe medicines. And then opiate dose. Who's to blame? Who is to blame for the opiate dose? And if you've been following the news, you've seen that there's been a case has been brought against pharmaceutical companies. So what I'd like you to do for this week is I would like you to take this worksheet right here, and I'm blowing this up so you can see it really well. Actually, I'm going to leave it right here. Is the framework for understanding and measuring health inequities. And so you see the social factors, institutional power, neighborhood conditions. So start taking a look upstream from downstream with the opiates. So if we looked at this in the mortality, the opiate deaths would be going in under mortality. Under disease and injury, you would put down the statistics showing the rates of overdose. The risk behavior, people using opiates too much or being prescribed opiates. Neighborhood conditions, are they in a place where they have access to health care or access to treatment? Institutional power, what has set up the power of the pharmaceutical companies and FDA? Are they being regulated? And then social inequities. Are some people being targeted more or hit more than others? So down here, I have just really quickly went through this, but let me go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and download this and show you how to do this. I'm going to give you one example right now. And hopefully you're seeing my sheet. Yes. So, so right here would be, you would actually put the rate of opiates. And so you would need to pull information from the CDC map or chart. Hello, see Canvas. Okay, so you'd actually see death rates here. Then you would maybe put down opiate overdose rates. Okay, and you could also put addiction rates. So I want to see real numbers in here. Real numbers. Then what's the risk behavior? Is it someone misusing opiates? So this is where you would need to go to CDC and look up the information on what's considered misuse. So I'll tell you right now, if you start to use opiates more than 3 or 4 days, they want you off of them by 4 days. So what's considered misuse? And that is in your Canvas module too. Neighborhood conditions. Are there, now this is where you can look at CDC again and look to see where people are overprescribing. So let's say you're in West Virginia, right? And your doctor's prescribing them left like M&Ms, okay? Take a look at that. Or maybe you don't have treatment. Maybe you don't have free treatment facilities. Or it's not covered by your insurance, okay? Unfair practices. This is where we start to look at the power of pharmaceuticals, drug companies, FDA regulations, lobbying. And so look again in your Canvas module, and I want specific examples here. And then poverty. Are there some people who are less able to speak up? Are there situations? Are there some people who are being targeted more than others? So, or are not receiving health care? So what you do here is you need to actually put in real information. And how you do that is, I'm not going to save this, but you might want to go back and take a screenshot here. It's right there. Or watch this video again. Don't save. Is that I go back out to the module, and everything I just talked about where you could get the rates are in here. You could get the institutional power issues here. You can get prescribing data here. And what you're going to do is you're going to fill out the chart. I'm also going to put in here, I'm going to go CDC prescribing opiates. They have a guideline right here. And so this is the guideline. This is actually very helpful. So I'm going to put this in the module too. So this is about you filling out. I'm going to put this in right now. Prescribing info on opiates. And trust me, you can find all kinds of things. There's everything out there right now. Here, I'm going to turn that on. So all this information is out there. And your assignment is to do these two things. One, you need to apply the framework. So I want you to take that table and complete it. You need to complete it. And I want up to 5 rows completed. Okay, I'm going to make it easier. I'm going to say 2 rows. I'll be happy with 2, but I want 2 with real data. Okay, and the second is in this Word document or in the text response. I want you to respond to this. Do you believe doctors and the drug companies have, what role do you believe doctors and the drug companies have in controlling this epidemic and also possibly starting it? Are they friend or foe? Or both? Or both. Okay, so let me put that there. Are they friend or foe or both? And this is worth 20 points. And so let's say that you've missed a couple assignments. This is a way for you to catch up. So it's worth 2 assignments in one. It's a great one. Okay, so if you have any questions, I will be on a chat session on Monday, like I always am, and you can ask questions then. All right? Also, feel free to Canvas message me.